In this video today, I'm going to share with you 7 uncomfortable self-care investments I made in myself this year that are probably like unconventional, but have been really important to me to like get over myself, get over the fear, get over the scarcity on investing in this, because it has a lot to do with my confidence. It has a lot to do with my self-trust, my self-worth, and my self-belief. Okay. There's something to be said about when you do what you don't really feel comfortable doing, but you know it's good for you in the long term. I mean, that can just change your life. Also, these are very vulnerable, for me, vulnerable. I have some shame in this and definitely some embarrassment. So I'm about to let it loose here. Okay. So the first one, uncomfortable self-care investment, $4,200. I started this process in June, finally getting a tooth implant. Yes, I have been missing a tooth for a few years. No tooth. Maybe you're like, well, duh, we've been noticing that in your videos. Or maybe you never noticed it. Doesn't matter. I notice it. And it has impacted my life, right? I've been insecure, a little like trying to hide, my smile and how I talk and just how I present myself. I mean, this has kind of been holding me back in many ways that maybe I didn't realize it was until I realized it was. A tooth implant, I just share that with you. For me, it's $4,200, huge investment. So many other things that you can do and that we need to do with $4,200, but this is finally something to where I'm like, I want to take care of this. I want to take care of this. It's a 6-month process. I started the implant process in June. They got to put like the implant, like they actually drill a hole, put the screw in, your bone needs to grow around that for 3, 4, 5 months. And then you get the crown, the tooth, which I get in, I think it's like 2.5 weeks. So I'm so excited about that. It's been huge for me. I've been excited. I've been just proud of myself for being willing to actually invest money in something like this. It's not something many people can do, nor do they want to do, because maybe you have a huge fear in going to the dentist, or that it's just not something that is a priority because you have all these other financial responsibilities. But it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time and that I'm finally doing. And it's been very uncomfortable financially to do it. Like, I don't want to spend money on that, but I did. And it's also been very life-changing, especially as I'm approaching closer to finally getting the crown in. So that's number 1. I don't know. How about you? Have you been thinking about doing some cosmetic work that is important to your self-care that would make a difference in your life? If so, share with me below in the comments what that is. Number 2, this is embarrassing, but you're probably going to be like, duh, Nikki, that's no secret. So when I was a kid, honestly, really young, 11 or 12, maybe even 10, I got a tattoo on my wedding finger. Who does that? This girl. My friend and I skipped school and we got these homemade tattoos. And finally, this is actually my husband. He's been wanting to get this tattoo removed, but I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to waste money on that. $1,500, unlimited sessions until it's gone. I had my first session a little bit ago, but you can only get them 6 to 8 weeks to do the laser. But already, I'm excited. This process is going to be about a year in total, close to a year to have all of it removed. And if you think about it like that, it's like, oh, what's the point? It's a whole year. It's going to take forever. Well, again, for me, I've been self-conscious about this tattoo coming through on my ring finger. People are always like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, yeah, I got the tattoo. I tell the whole story. I don't have to, but I do. So at 41, after having this for close to 30 years, it's finally coming off. And my amazing husband's like, I'm going to pay for it because I've been asking you to get this done for a long time. So not money out of my pocket, but it's a process to go through this. It's very painful to have laser zapping, very painful, and it's a commitment. You got to go every 6 to 8 weeks for about a year. So I'm proud of that, right? I no longer have to try and hide something that's there when I can just deal with it. Can you relate to that? I would love to know your story about tattoos if you care to share them below in the comments. The third uncomfortable self-care investment I made this year was going to Christine Hassler. She is, I think, the best life coach in the entire world. I went to her women's signature retreat in San Diego in October. All in all, the investment was about $3,500. Here's the thing. I'm sharing numbers with you because self-care investment, like I want you to know the different ranges of self-care, and also to invest in yourself, to feel better, to heal, to process, to rewrite your story. In a lot of ways, I'm rewriting my story with getting this off. It requires financially investing in yourself and having the courage to do that and being willing to find a way to do that. This retreat, the third thing, that it wasn't cheap, like the retreat was $2,500, but then you had the flight and then you had the hotel. I think it was about $3,500 all in all. I mean, that's a huge stretch for me, but I just been saving a lot of my money, since becoming a mom 3 years ago. I don't make as much as I used to. But I've always been I shouldn't say always. I've been a good saver the last several years of my life, and I still make money. I have a life insurance business. I have my coaching. These are huge amount of, or big investments for me. It's all relative, that have been very uncomfortable and scary to do, but I already see the ROI on them. And like the emotionally, mentally, physically, I'll get into that in a moment, but definitely spiritually. I mean, with Christine's retreat, I've healed so much sexual trauma from my past. I have let go of, really now have somatic practices that I can continue to do here at home to help me to continue to surrender and let go of what I can't control in my day-to-day life. And my life is so much better because of that. Definitely worth the money. What about you? Is there a retreat or a therapist or a coach or a program or whatever it is that you have been dying to do, but you've been so scared to invest in yourself? Or think about the difference. Like how, by doing that, how would this make a difference in your life? How is this going to pay dividends in the future? Is that worth the investment to you? Number 4, uncomfortable self-care investment I made this year. This might sound a little funny, this one as an investment, but it is an investment. I've been talking about it already in my other videos, but I stopped drinking. It's been almost 2 months that I just decided to stop drinking. That's an investment in myself, because what that cost are some friendships, some relationships. What that cost is me saying goodbye, ending a certain identity and behavior and habit that I had of how that played a big part of my life. That's an investment. It's an investment of letting go of what no longer is serving me. And it's actually giving me money back and time back and energy back. It's phenomenal how, I don't want to sound too preachy, but I know I'm going to sound preachy. I'm actually going to do another video on this. It is phenomenal how when you stop drinking alcohol, also ethanol, like the stuff that we put in our cars to drive them, that's also what's in alcohol. So it's a poison. When you stop drinking that stuff, you get your brain back and you really get your life back. But there's a cost when we don't do what is so programmed and conditioned by society as normal, as this is what you do to have fun. This is how you are more fun. This is how you celebrate. This is how you do family things. This is what you do on vacation. I mean, drinking is so programmed and conditioned deeply into our society and into our life, and that we're the ones that have a problem if we're not drinking. And it just couldn't be further from the truth. So stopping drinking has cost me some things, but it's given me so much. Does that relate? What do you think about that uncomfortable self-care investment? Number 5. Okay, so this wasn't this year. This was actually in November of 2024. I spent $15,000 on this business coach that is supposed to help moms grow their coaching business, and it turned out to be awful. The program, the promise, to me, it felt like a scam. I made that investment, but here's a bigger investment. After about 2 months, it was a 1-year-long mastermind is how she sold it. After 2 months of being in that mastermind, I was so unhappy with the results, with the content, with, like the learnings. I'm like, this is, what? I paid $15,000 for this? Like, no. So I had asked for a prorated refund and it was denied. And I had asked again and it was denied. And I'm really advocating for myself. Like, I can't get through to have a one-on-one call with the coach, although she could talk to me and enroll me and take my money initially to sign up. But when it came to me providing feedback and not being happy, not being the program, the content for me, she couldn't get on a call with me. So I had to go through her business manager, just through all this ring around, BS. And they wouldn't give me my money back. I just wanted a prorated refund. Anyway, the self-care investment I made to get to the juice of this here is in the group coaching call that we had bi-weekly. It was my turn to ask my question, and I brought up in that Zoom room, there must have been 30 people in there advocating for myself. I want my money back. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. This isn't what I feel that you are marketing and selling. I want out. I want my money back. And that was entertaining, to say the least. But I was just so bitter, so really mad at myself for not doing more of my due diligence, and just so disappointed and just so taken advantage of, and preyed on as a new mother of this business coach, promising moms that she's going to help us, really expand and do this stuff. And it's just all BS in my experience, and not just in mine, but many others too that were in the program. Anyway, I never gave up. I finally found a loophole, and I was able to get half of my investment back. So I paid $15,000, but because I didn't give up and I kept advocating and I found a loophole, this was like 6 months in, I was finally able to get half of my money back because she broke the contract. Not me, she did, by this new thing that she was launching, whatever. Anyway, I go into detail about that because if you're someone that has ever invested in any type of coaching, or mentoring, and it just wasn't what you thought it was going to be, and a lot of times, like, there are no refund policies, it can be devastating because, whether it's 500, 1,000, 15,000, like, that's a lot of money. It's all relative, and you don't get the support, and just like what you thought you were going to get, that's devastating. So the fact that I did not give up and I kept fighting for my, getting back my money, because I don't believe that she was following through with doing whatever she was doing. That felt so good to not quit on myself, to not abandon myself, and not just be like, oh, whatever, it just is what it is. That was very empowering. So that happened in April, I think it was, that I got this refund back. And it's been amazing for me, like, in my confidence and just feeling good about myself and following through and advocating for myself, like really practicing and doing what I preach, what I teach, what I coach others, I did for myself. And that has been huge, huge. All right. Number 6, uncomfortable self-care investment I made this year. Personal trainer. Yep. So I was going to this personal trainer. It's like not that far, maybe 15 minutes from my house. I did their 30-day Kickstart program, did all the workouts. But I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to do the commute time. I know it doesn't sound like that much, 15 minutes there, then you work out there and then 15 minutes back. I'm like, I want to do this, but I want to do this in my own home. I talked to them and I said, can you, like, can you do online programs, customize, like design workouts for me and switch them up every 30 days, like how you do? And they said, yes. I'm like, okay, great. How much is that? So I pay $65 every 2 weeks for that. And so I invest in an online personal trainer that I pay $130 for a month, that I do in the comfort of my own home. I never have an excuse not to be able to do it because I don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, I had to buy some equipment, but I did this. Oh my God, when did I start personal training? I think like in April or May. So it's been almost 6 months. I feel amazing, mentally, physically, and even financially, because if I was doing face-to-face personal training, not only was it the time, the commute, but it's also a lot more money when you're training at the studio, and it's a bigger, it's a lot less when you have like an online trainer. So huge, love it, highly recommend, especially, sound cheesy, but really become the best version of yourself, especially later in life. If you're like me at 40 and like, I don't have time to waste, I got to take care of myself because like I got some making up to do for bad habits from the past. Okay. Number 7, uncomfortable self-care investment I made this year. I have started to invest in higher end skincare because I'm tired of feeling insecure and just uncomfortable and irritated in my skin. So I stopped drinking, which helps a lot because that's a poison, that's a toxin, that just will dehydrate you. And I already have combination sensitive skin, prone to redness skin anyway. My skin has always been like a thing for me. And I've never wanted to invest money in the skincare because I just never really believed in it. And I just didn't want to keep wasting my money on things. But I'm like, let me give this another shot. So now I invest in the brand Tatcha. It's a Japanese brand and it's been working wonders. I don't know if you can really tell, but for me and how I feel, and I can tell because I look at myself every day, I feel a lot more moisturized. I feel hydrated. I just feel good in my skin. I always had like tightness here, but now that I'm doing my routine, I'm drinking more water, I'm exercising every day, I'm not, drinking, I'm, eating good, I'm washing morning and night, not just washing, but like I do a cleansing oil and I just take care of my freaking skin with good products. Like it feels good, looks better to me already, and it just feels good. This is the 2.0 me, the 40 plus me, the new mom life I'm stepping into. And I tell you what, by making these 7 uncomfortable self-care investments, changed so much of my life internally, but also externally. And I can already see just the ingredients and what I'm making and creating, committed to, like the baking process of it already coming out to form. Just little results here and there with certain things, professionally, personally, in my relationships. Like I'm baking all the time, meaning I'm committed, I'm disciplined, I'm following through. And then I end up getting these desired results. I'm also not super monkey grip attached to the outcomes when I want them. I just trust that, okay, if I do my part, it's gonna happen. So, and it is. I'm just not so attached to a certain timeline. And I just find that to be very fascinating when you can commit and go all in, but without attachment, like high commitment and low attachment, how you just end up manifesting the life that you want and the things in it and the results you want. It's really amazing. Let me do a recap of the 7 uncomfortable self-care investments I made this year. 1, tooth implant. 2, ring finger tattoo removal. 3, beautiful, somatic, spiritual, emotional healing of sexual trauma transformational retreat, Christine Hassler's. 4, stop drinking. So that's giving me money to pay for my expensive Tatcha skincare. 5, really advocating for myself until I was blue in the face to get some of my money back from this coach that to me does not do what she markets and what she promises. She's more so about the money, money, money than I think she really is about helping women and mothers. Online personal trainer, number 6. And then, the skincare. And I share this again, not to self-indulge, but I'm just sharing my story and my journey because if you are in a place to where you're like, I am tired of feeling bad, or I want to like myself, I want to feel more energized, I want to feel more empowered and confident and like show up authentically, you're going to have to make some uncomfortable self-care investments. You just are. You're going to make some poor ones. You're going to make some mistakes along the way, investing in things you shouldn't, but just because maybe you were burned once, don't let that stop you from continuing to try again and get the help, the support, the guidance, the tools, the resources, the mentoring, the coaching, the therapy, and the healing that you need to live this life that you really are worthy of and deserve. Like it's a constant. We have to constantly be advocating, healing, growing, learning, changing, like all the time. It's just life. It's just like the life cycle. You're never there, is what I'm saying. You're never going to be there. It's just going to be bigger, higher quality, better problems. And why not do it with all your teeth? And no stupid tattoo. Anyway, if this video was inspiring and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel if you're feeling called to. And leave any comments that you have. I would love to hear a little bit about your journey, some investments you're making on your self-care. And if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask below in the comments. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here and I'll see you in another video a little bit later this week. Okay, bye.